Everything changed overnight. The Indiana Fever are more than just a basketball team. They are a sensation in the media. Every action in this story is being watched by the sports world. What began as casual conversation in the locker room has developed into a significant disruption to the franchise. The head coach was not present in that precise way, and her replacement was a legend and an innovator. Throughout the history of women's basketball, Cheryl Miller has had a significant impact. That is, in fact, Cheryl Miller, the icon, the trailblazer, and the main force behind the current growth of women's basketball. And the legendary Indiana sister of Reggie Miller. This goes beyond simply employing a coach. The WNBA's power dynamics swiftly change if Cheryl Miller walks into that facility to instruct Caitlin Clark. Thus, there has been a shift in power. In the locker room, on the floor, and in the league office. Then, how did we get here? After setting the Fever, how did Stephanie White lose the locker room? It didn't happen all at once.
It took some time.
At first, it seemed like normal development pains. An experienced coach trying to guide a young team through the chaos after Caitlin Clark joined. But every game became a spectacle. Every timeout was videotaped. Every conversation in the locker room turned into a headline. White is adamant about order and discipline. Clark is a living example of instinct, creativity, and freedom. And the conflict reached a breaking point.
Honest, because it needs to be said. I can relate to that young lady, and I felt for her. I know what it's like to be hated. I don't want to use hate, but despised. And people just having, she brought some on herself a little bit because she's cocky for a good reason. And I love that about her. But to watch the dynamics and the media, they had their narrative.
One of the best that's ever played the game, so I've known Cheryl for a little while now. I think her energy, that's what I love about her. Like, it's just contagious, and it's fun. Like, I called her coach and she was like, I don't know about that yet. You'll have to see how I do during the game.
Watch that play where she didn't pass Kelsey the ball after Coach Stephanie White benched her for having a few turnovers in a row. That would have been a momentum shift in the game. That actually looked like it could have been a wide open pass, and it's something that Caitlin does on the regular. I've definitely been giving the benefit of the doubt this entire season. I just would hate to see some of the things that make Caitlin Caitlin, the things that fans love the most about Caitlin, be coached out of her. Those risky passes, the 10 turnovers, it might just happen sometimes with.
Tensions reportedly developed during a practice session, according to insiders. Stephanie White looked at Clark and said, "This isn't Iowa anymore. This is the benefit." There was silence in the gym. That statement spread like wildfire among the group. After that, the dressing room lost its cohesiveness. Suddenly, players began taking sides. Some were drawn to Clark, the rising star whose influence was becoming increasingly apparent, while others stood behind the coach. When the power of the superstars outweighs that of the coaches, it is no longer up for debate. There is a countdown to change. Behind closed doors, the owner had reached his breaking point. He had put years, money, and culture into preparing for the rise of a generational genius. Then Caitlin Clark showed up. The viewership skyrocketed. Everything was sold out. He had instability rather than stability, but the Fever soon became well known in the league. There are rumors of power struggles, tension narratives. Rumor has it that Clark's crew wanted to take a different route. Simon reportedly called emergency meetings. He wanted to be in charge of drama. And in a league where star power, marketability, and influence are crucial elements, the choice seemed clear. Stephanie White did not resign. They threw her out. The front desk gave her one last chance. To protect your legacy, retire covertly, or be dismissed in public. She chose to be dignified. Her most recent meeting with the team was challenging. No drama, no yelling, just emotion. She thanked the players. She told them to keep their focus. She then walked away without turning around. It was because looking back would hurt even more, not because she didn't care. The most agonizing thing wasn't losing the job. She was being replaced by Cheryl Miller, a name that may add an entire period. One employee provided the most accurate description. The house was created by Stephanie. When Cheryl shows up, the earth trembles. As soon as her name emerged online, The internet went berserk. The same question was posed by all: fans, commentators, and former athletes. Will Cheryl Miller really come back? Because this is more than just a coach gossip. This titan is returning to the game that she helped develop. Let's look at this from a different perspective. Gold medalist at the Olympics and a Namath Hall of Fame member. Among the greatest college athletes in history. Yes, the older sister of Reggie Miller, the legendary basketball player from Indiana. Cheryl was a top-tier coach at USC and the WNBA, but she quit the job years ago to broadcast, give advice, and have a remote impact on the game. Why right now? According to reports, Steve Simon then made a personal call. He was looking for a leader, not just a coach, who would be respected, especially by Caitlin Clark. When Cheryl finally responded, she said something that went viral. "If I take this job, I'm not here to look after a star. Making a champion is my aim." That one sentence became a rallying cry on social media. Cheryl Miller was brave, audacious, and innocent. It was just what Indiana desired. As soon as her name appeared, every camera, microphone, and headline asked the same question. What does Caitlin Clark think? Was she secretly preparing something? Did she play a part in Stephanie White's exit? There were no public statements, cryptic quotes, or tweets from Clark. But behind closed doors, Clark felt invigorated. She found the pioneers to be admirable. Diana Taurasi, Lisa Leslie, and Cheryl Miller are the ladies who made the WNBA possible today. In an interview conducted months ago, Clark made a statement that felt appropriate at the time. "I grew up watching Cheryl Miller's highlights. She made use of the court as though it were her own. When insiders revealed that Clark had secretly approved Miller's employment, I likewise tried to project that level of assurance." Supporters of Fever went berserk. A fan's post went viral. Clark and Miller joined the Indiana basketball dynasty. This wasn't just a coaching gimmick. It was a proclamation. For Caitlin Clark, this had nothing to do with power. It was about picking up knowledge from someone who had already blazed the route she now wants to. About mentoring and about purpose. But not everyone in the locker room is driven. A few seasoned Fever players who had spent years working under Stephanie White noticed that things were changing beneath them. White was more than just a coach to them. He was stability. She was the calm in the middle of the storm. She trusted them long before the cameras appeared. One veteran claims that it appears Caitlin is now leading this team. The others only play supporting roles in her story. Indeed, harsh. Sincere, of course. The dynamic of Indiana is very different. Instead of being a rebuilding squad, this is now a brand. When one person is the center of attention, everyone else feels the heat. Cheryl Miller's work involves more than merely drawing plays. She needs to restrain her ego, win back people's trust, and prove that she is more than just a storyline. She is the ideal person to deal with that level of stress. Cheryl Miller is well known for her perseverance and fairness. Whether you are the 12th guy on the bench or the first draft pick is irrelevant. She is going to put Clark under the same level of strain as everyone else. Additionally, this locker room might be in desperate need of a coach with the guts to take on its best player. There is a poetic quality about this. Indiana is connected to the Miller name. Reggie Miller became well known as a representation of loyalty and kindness. His sister may be the Fever's lifeblood decades later. Imagine the story. Two Millers, the same city, the same basketball empire. Reggie is on the men's court, and Cheryl is on the women's. Fans love it. The media loves it. Steve Simon as well. He understands the power of the story. This kind of storytelling, which goes beyond straightforward tactics, has long been desired by the WNBA. As soon as the news broke, Reggie posted an enigmatic comment on the internet. "She's back. Indiana, you're not ready." Millions of people watched. Chaos erupted in an instant. Everything seemed definite when the Miller name reappeared. Not only the Fever, but the entire WNBA could be rocked by this move. Cheryl Miller's return instantly gives legitimacy to the coaching scene. A founding icon is returning for national broadcasts just as women's basketball is booming. Networks are already coordinating. Analysts hail it as the Fever's best basketball and marketing move to date. Sponsors are ecstatic. Fans are ecstatic. Even critics are unable to refute it. This is the biggest coaching story the NBA has seen in a long time. The combination is explosive. Caitlin Clark is not a rookie. She is a brand. Endorsements, influence, and spotlight. When you combine that passion with Cheryl Miller's history and discipline, what do you get? The pioneer is coaching the prodigy. Symbolic, historic, and very successful at the box office. But let's be clear. Cheryl Miller is a conventional person. Ego and headlines don't matter. She doesn't know what sugarcoating is. She expects perfection. How about Caitlin Clark? 2 leaders, 2 alphas, 2 powerhouses, fierce, competitive, and unadulterated. They can crash like thunder and lightning or become unstoppable when combined. If their chemistry works, the fever turns into a well-trained machine that is focused, disciplined, and relentless. If it doesn't work, chaos. We looked at each viewpoint frame by frame. Every expression was turned into a headline, and every timeout was dissected. Did Cheryl put too much pressure on you? Did Clark take revenge? There is an increase in tension. Everything is fulfilled. So, what does Cheryl Miller have to offer? A return to responsibility, effort, defense, and the fundamentals. Minutes are never distributed. They are merited. In addition to highlight passes and logo threes, she will expect Clark to lead with her voice, energy, and elegance. Players like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston will begin partnering with Clark rather than circling her. It's not Caitlin Clark's team. This is Indiana's. One of Miller's assistants claims that Cheryl doesn't coach to win people over. She helps you become excellent through coaching. This event defines 3 legacies. Stephanie White is a future bridge, stabilizer, and builder. The renowned Cheryl Miller is returning to show off her ongoing supremacy in the game. Caitlin Clark went from being a viral celebrity to a true professional leader. If it is successful, women's basketball will achieve unprecedented levels in the history of sports and the WNBA. If it doesn't work, it will be talked about for years. In any event, history is being made in Indiana right now. If these rumors are true, instead of just bursting in applause when Cheryl Miller on the court, the arena will crackle with electricity. This is not just a coaching hiring, it's a declaration. Indiana is tired of being the patient, the underdog, and the experiment. They are ready to take over. A Hall of Fame, a generational talent on the floor, and intelligence on the bench. For this to occur, Stephanie White had to walk. Cheryl Miller and Caitlin Clark will assume leadership roles. We are now in a new era. This is the Miller-Clark dynasty. If it happens, the WNBA will never be the same. Now it's your turn. Is this front office risk going to blow up? Or can Caitlin Clark realize her full potential under the guidance of Cheryl Miller? Please type Dynasty Mode in the comment section if you think Indiana is entering a dynasty.